Once upon a time, by the serene banks of a gently flowing river, a wise master lived in solitude, dedicating his days to deep meditation and contemplation. His presence was almost mystical, and those who passed by the riverside often felt a profound sense of peace emanating from him. One day, news of this master reached a young man who was in search of spiritual enlightenment. Curious and driven by a strong desire to understand the mysteries of life, the young man decided to seek out this master. He believed that under the guidance of such a sage, he could perhaps find God and attain true wisdom. With his mind made up, the young man set out on a journey to find the master. After a day's travel, he finally reached the riverside where the master sat, lost in deep meditation. The young man approached him respectfully and said, "Master, I wish to become your disciple because I want to find God." The master, still and silent as a statue, suddenly sprang to life. Without uttering a word, he leapt up, grabbed the young man by his neck, and dragged him towards the river. The young man was startled and confused, but didn't resist, thinking this might be some kind of initiation test. The master plunged the young man's head underwater and held him there. Seconds turned into what felt like eternity for the young man as he struggled to free himself, his lungs burning for air. The world above the water became a distant memory as his need for air consumed his entire being. Just when he thought he could no longer endure it, the master pulled him out of the water. The young man gasped for air, coughing up water and desperately trying to regain his breath. His heart raced, and his body trembled from the ordeal. As he calmed down and his breathing steadied, the master looked at him and asked, "Tell me, what did you want most of all when you were underwater?" "Air," the young man replied, his voice still shaky from the experience. The master nodded with a knowing smile and said, "Very well. Now go home and come back to me when you want God as much as you wanted air." The young man, still processing what had just happened, slowly walked away, realizing the profound lesson he had just learned. The master had shown him that true desire, the kind that leads to enlightenment, must be as intense and consuming as the need for air. Only then can one truly embark on the path to finding God. There was once a great warrior, renowned across the island for his incredible skill and unyielding spirit. Despite his age, he remained undefeated, a living legend whose reputation attracted many young warriors eager to learn from him. His students admired him not just for his combat prowess, but also for his wisdom and calm demeanor. One day, a young and arrogant warrior arrived in the village, determined to challenge the great master. He was known for his ruthlessness and had defeated many skilled fighters, earning himself a fearsome reputation. Confident in his abilities, he sought to make a name for himself by defeating the legendary warrior. The young warrior marched to the master's dojo and loudly issued his challenge. The master, calm and unflustered, accepted without hesitation. The villagers and students gathered, eager to witness the duel. As the duel began, the young warrior launched a series of fierce attacks, each move designed to overwhelm his opponent. The master, however, effortlessly dodged and deflected every strike, his movements precise and economical. The young warrior grew increasingly frustrated, his attacks becoming more erratic and desperate. After several minutes of this, the master stopped and stepped back, lowering his weapon. The young warrior, panting and visibly exhausted, demanded, "Why do you not fight back? Are you afraid to lose?" The master looked at him with serene eyes and replied, "A true warrior knows that victory is not just about defeating the opponent, but also about mastering oneself. Your anger and frustration are your real enemies." The young warrior, taken aback by the master's words, realized the wisdom behind them. He bowed his head in respect, acknowledging his own shortcomings. From that day forward, he chose to stay and learn from the master, not just the art of combat, but also the deeper lessons of discipline and self-control. The master's teachings extended beyond the battlefield. He often spoke of the importance of inner peace and the power of a calm mind. "A peaceful warrior," he would say, "is not one who is free from conflict, but one who remains untroubled by it." As the young warrior trained under the master, He transformed into a humble and wise individual, understanding that true strength comes from within. He learned to face challenges with a calm and focused mind, embodying the qualities of a peaceful warrior. Years passed, and the young warrior, now older and wiser, became a master himself. He taught the next generation the same lessons he had learned, passing on the legacy of the great warrior who had shown him the true path to victory. These stories remind us that the journey to true wisdom and enlightenment requires an intense and unwavering desire. Whether seeking spiritual growth or mastering a skill, the key lies in our dedication and the calmness with which we approach life's challenges. Just as the young man needed to desire God as desperately as he needed air, and the young warrior needed to master himself to truly succeed, we too must cultivate a deep and focused commitment to our goals. If these stories inspired you, please subscribe to our channel for more motivational and insightful content. Let us continue this journey of growth and enlightenment together.